What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Engineers Without Filters podcast, episode 123. I'm your host, Jacob Thompson, and tonight I still got this Rheingeist Sunspin Shandy that I drank a couple weeks ago, I think it was, and not as hot on it as I was at the time I first drinking it. I mentioned, I think, off the podcast with Joseph, so it's a Shandy it's like a Shandy with orange juice. It's like a mixed of beer with orange juice, and you can definitely taste that. It's kind of like a mimosa, but like not in a good way. Like, I'd rather just be like an orange beer and not a beer mixed with orange juice. So I've been kind of, avoiding drinking it. But, haven't bought beer in a while, so this is what we got.
Nice. I'm Joseph, and I'm drinking the same beer I drank last week, Trollway by, was it Insight Brewing?
Mm-hmm.
Cool can art. And I realized it took me a little too long to realize that this is supposed to be the Stone Arch Bridge, which is a footbridge in Minneapolis. So, at least I'm guessing that's what it's supposed to be.
But why is he over the bridge? He's a troll.
It's the Troll Way.
Yeah.
Well,
he's
under the bridge.
Yeah,
he's changing troll roles, I suppose.
He's turning over a new leaf
everywhere.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm Gabe.
There's three little billy goats underneath the bridge.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Well, I'm Gabe. I've got a PBR, and I'm back. Hello, everyone.
Good old pint of PBR.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Pint as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, my name may be Dayton, but you might as well call me Gabe motherfucking Toman, because I have a PBR as well.
Oh, I'll chink to that.
Chink.
Got the trashy boys in the house tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, man, someone's got it.
Well, welcome back. If that's definitely true. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. As always, you can find our show on Mondays on Spotify, Google Play, all the podcast services, as well as YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at ewfpodcast, and go ahead and follow us on Twitch, where we're live right now recording the episode. That's ewf_podcast. We record the podcast Thursday nights, and we play some games Monday nights. So check us out for that. We are back to full strength. Gabe was gone last week for work stuff. Did you listen to the episode last week, Gabe?
I haven't. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well.
Not a fan. Not a true fan.
He's not a fan of the podcast.
No.
Yeah.
He's just on it.
He
doesn't like it, but he's just a part.
On it.
It's good to have you back. How'd it go? When it was in Kentucky, right?
Yeah, it was just outside of Lexington. It wasn't too bad. It started off bad. I told Joseph this, but I took an Uber to the airport. It was only like 20 minutes, but I didn't want to obviously park my car. And the driver started talking conspiracy theories right away. And I remember checking his time to arrive 3 times. The best one being Bill Gates fucking is experimenting on people with vaccines, and just to give you an idea, just fucking crazy. And then I got in the airport, and then the lady that I sat next to I tried to put on my headphones politely 4 times. I'm like, this conversation's over. She didn't stop talking. I was like, God damn it. But the guy that I worked with, I've never seen him before in the office because he's a project engineer, and never met the guy. But he was actually super cool, which was awesome. Every night we went out and found a place that served beer because our company will pay us back up to 2 beers, so we made sure to get that quota in. It's pretty fun.
So it's per beer, not total price?
It's drinks, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you can get some.
So you could order a couple doubles.
Yeah, and 100% you could, and I might have.
What's the most alcoholic thing on the menu?
Yeah, pretty much.
Probably Long Island's.
That was pretty fun, but the work itself was, at least for my part, was mostly easy. But classic workplace drama, I asked this team to do something for me 4 times before I went on site, and it didn't get done. So that sent me back 2 days, and then they blamed me for not doing it at one point, and it was a whole thing. They emailed my supervisor saying I did a bad job, even though I had like screenshots. I'm like, bitch, I'll show you. I've asked you these things. So that was fun. But besides that, it wasn't too bad. Can't complain.
Yeah, I'm glad
What was that thing you did just before you flew home, though, that you were telling me all about?
Before I flew home.
Yeah, before you flew home or drove home on the way back. You stopped somewhere.
I don't know. What are you talking about?
I was trying real hard.
God damn it, Gabe. You're dense as the bat you bought.
Oh, the fucking Louisville Slugger Museum?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, also, I got upgraded to a Dodge Charger for my rental, which is pretty sick.
Ooh.
Nice.
No, there was a joke between everyone at work because like we Google when we fly, like what is there to do in X location, and we Google that the only thing to like that shows up constantly is the Louisville Slugger Museum, which you guys know me, I'm not a fucking fan of baseball. I don't give a fuck about baseball. So like for like weeks they're like, "Oh, dude, you gotta check it out. You're always such a baseball guy. You're gonna fucking love it. Like you have to go." So like just before we left, we had a little bit of extra time, and I told the project engineer with the story, and it's like, I just need to go in and buy a bat and take it to work. So that's exactly what I did.
Did you get a small one or a full size?
It's like it's a small one.
Yeah, those ones are cool. I like those.
I was gonna bring in a full size bat
on a plane.
Yeah, they wouldn't care.
No, but it's pretty funny. It's a good time.
Nice. That's reminded me on Hot Ones recently. They had Jack Harlow on there, who's a rapper who's been popular recently, but he's from Kentucky, and they asked him about the Louisville Slugger Museum. He's like, dude, super underrated. One of the best museums you could ever go to.
God.
So, you had a chance, Gabe, but it sounds like you just went to the gift shop and left.
I totally did. A lot of people were disappointed in me. Like, you didn't experience it. And it's like, dude, I don't fucking care.
I feel like it'd be interesting just to learn about the history of because it's the bat. It's not like a team, right? Like if you're not a baseball fan, you don't give a fuck about like the Dodgers or anything.
Yeah.
No offense to the Dodgers. There's any Dodgers
It's
fans
also a
out there.
factory though, like on site, they like make the bats, so they have like the factory.
That sounds cool as fuck.
I didn't have enough time, man.
Yeah.
I was working. I just had enough time to stop in because
you could have made time. You're out drinking every night. You could have made time and gone to the
They'd probably
No.
close at like 6 o'clock or something.
So we flew into Louisville and then drove to Lexington, and that's an hour and a half away.
Oh, gotcha.
And then I was there all week, and then like we drove back, and we had enough time to stop in, grab a bat, and put it on the plane. So in my luggage, it was a check bag. I didn't like take a bat on
it was a tiny bat. What are you gonna do? Whack a kid with it?
No, there was a sign like specifically at security that was like no clubbed objects, and it was a picture of a bat. It's like they fucking know. Like if people want to bring bats on the fucking plane. But I had checked it back, so it was fine.
That's funny.
And then I'm sure Joseph talked about us going to Cuyuna. I'm sure.
Yep. Showed my battle scars.
Nice.
Told him about the Taco John's incident.
Oh my god. Maybe I should have listened, but actually no, I don't, because I just get more pissed.
You lived it. I don't know why you need to listen to it.
Yeah, I don't need to fucking hear it again.
I feel like Dayton's got some good stories in there you should listen to, but I won't spoil it. But yeah, you two got any other weekly stuff that happened recently?
We got really drunk this last weekend.
Yeah, we did. We went to Jacob. I gotta tell you what. I went back to Dangerous Man for the first time.
Oh, you sent me that Snapchat, yeah.
Holy fuck! They got rid of that long table in the middle that was horrible, and they split it up into high tops finally.
Thank fucking God.
But yeah, went back there. Went back to 1029. Oh, it was weird to be back, but great at the same time.
Yeah. I think you told me that like Daedric had like 5 IPAs on the menu.
Yeah,
it's so many IPAs.
5 or 6. It was ridiculous.
It was almost too many, and I like.
They still have their house IPA. That's
I don't. That's like a standard. I don't think they get rid of that, which is a damn shame. But
I know that's the problem. Is that's the only beer they don't rotate, and it's not that good.
No, they have 3 beers they don't rotate. It's the peanut butter porter and the chocolate stout, and then the house IPA. Those are the only 3.
Okay.
Which I guess the
peanut
peanut butter
watching
porter
a video because Date and I are both making fucking that's disgusting faces.
Yeah. I guess they were one of the first breweries in the cities to do like that kind, like a peanut butter porter, and I guess they kind of got famous for it.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Interesting.
And now
I
like
just
a lot of
remember.
people do like peanut butter and chocolate ones, I guess.
I mean,
It's what I
I'm
heard
here
some
for
guy
it.
at the bar tell me one time.
I'm here for it. My issue with Dangerous Man is they'll have a good beer, and then it'll be there for a week, and they'll rotate it out. It's like, no, just keep making that. You didn't have to get rid of it, because now all the
Yeah,
Yeah.
beers that are
they
currently
should
here are
take
bad.
Jacob's taste buds and only
Yes,
listen to
thank
them.
Gabe.
Like,
Thank you. I should be a beer
They
consultant.
they know which ones are good and which ones are bad.
yeah,
I
I mean,
think
if they sell
make
out fast, like
I think
obviously
they
Yeah.
make a
people like this
set
one.
batch. Like they make
Yeah.
one barrel or X amount of barrels of everything,
Mhm,
and then like they either only make it once or they keep making it, right?
probably.
And it's like,
So
oh,
saying
we made one batch.
if it sells out fast, just make it again immediately.
They
Again.
could, yeah. Maybe they don't write down how they make it.
Yeah, it could be like a KBC thing where
Yeah,
they only
fuck
make
up.
3 beers and everything else is just a fuck up of whatever else. Oh, we messed it up, so we put raspberry
Was
in
there
it.
like all KBC's best beers were mistakes? Hot take.
Oh,
Um,
there's a pretty
yeah,
good
but
one.
they also had a lot of really bad mistakes too. Wasn't what was that autumn ale that you
Sounds
could buy
sucked.
throughout the
Yeah.
entire winter because
Yeah,
it was
they
Joseph,
so
discounted
bad?
it so heavily that it was like next January. It was literally like
They were
$5 for
for
a six
fucking
pack.
ever.
It was disgusting.
But I mean, the best ones in my opinion were Black and Blue and Belgian Waffle, which were both
Oh,
variations on Widowmaker.
Yeah.
So Widowmaker was their dark beer.
Belgian waffle, baby.
Dude, yeah, Widowmaker was their dark beer, and it wasn't like super heavy. It was actually pretty thin. But they fucked up and added blueberry to it, and that was Black and Blue. So that was really fucking good. And then Belgian Waffles, they accidentally added extra vanilla. Oh my fucking god, that shit was so good, dude.
It tasted like a Belgian. I don't even know how to describe it other than that. The
We had
name was
so
spot
many.
on.
we had so many
Yeah.
of those.
I remember
Fucking
you
fantastic.
taking a trip just to get a growler of it before they sold out.
It was good, dude.
This is good shit.
Fucking solid.
What
Yeah,
else?
it's a nice-
Oh, we had the 2000s party too. We had
Yeah,
Cooper
Oh
hosted
yeah,
2000s
how'd
party.
that go?
it was
Pretty
fun.
fun. It was a good
Yeah.
time. Definitely gave me college vibes.
Yeah,
Which is
it was
cool.
weird to like. Yeah, we like bought. Well, Cooper bought a keg, and so like we hauled the keg in, and
Mm-hmm.
the tap broke halfway through the night, so we had to like get pliers to pull the thing up. Classic college night.
Mhm.
But
Good outfits out there.
nah,
Oh yeah, I'd
not-
say so.
there were some. There was one guy who dressed up. I think the best. I think we went the hardest.
Naturally.
We
Like,
always
as
go.
far-
That's how it happened that we were at Tech too.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
not like drinking wise, but we would always like bring the party, you know, and we'd dress up with like all this dumb shit.
like there were people that were like, "Oh yeah, that's 2000s ish." But one guy, I fucking always forget his name, dressed up as the guy from Green Day, Billy
Oh,
Joe
yeah.
Oh,
Armstrong, like the white button-up shirt that's like halfway unbuttoned with the tie and like the
Mhm.
shorts, you know, like his like
Mm.
schoolboy uniform, whatever.
Yeah,
That was
it
pretty good.
was good.
And there was maybe a couple other people that were into it, but it wasn't a huge
What's the
or
thing? It's
very
like
many other
what
people.
I can't think of like 2000s fashion off the top of my head.
It's
You
bad.
know? Yeah.
I mean, I got like and I don't think it's plaid's the wrong pattern, but like
No, they were plaid.
were they technically? Okay,
You're-
like
yeah.
plaid, white and black shorts, and then like an oversized
Mm.
polo. And then Cooper's roommate had like the same exact outfit, but a yellow polo. It was pretty funny.
That was pretty good. I got like grungy cargo shorts
I was gonna
that
say like
had like
cargo
the
pants or something. Yeah.
well, they were like cargo capris on me, and like they had the drawstring on them on like the pant legs, and like just a grungy like tap out shirt. It was pretty good.
It was a good time. It was definitely pretty fun. Cooper had way too much music. We didn't get through it. You know, like fucking 14 hours or something insane like that.
Yeah.
Just
The party starts at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get through 14 hours of 2000 music.
uh
Got to make sure you got all the good hits. You don't want to just in case you forget something.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But
Dayton, what about you? Anything happen lately?
I mean, I went up to New Hampshire again. Did some more hiking. I think I had
That's-
probably the most euphoric moment of like being in the mountains. It was like we hiked up like probably 4,000 or 5,000 feet, and we hiked up through the clouds, and then so we were up in the clouds as we were like cresting the summit, and then it was like 50-mile-an-hour winds or something like that, and right as we reached the summit, all the clouds went away in a matter of like 2 or 3 seconds because the wind was so fast, and then it was just blue skies and sunny.
Oh baby.
It was
fucking awesome.
It was insane. It was insane. But yeah, I mean, otherwise just more hiking, more running, more lifting.
I
more
love
work.
it. What do you guys do this weekend, Joseph and Gabe? Oh, we drank and got really drunk. Dude, I had the most euphoric moment of my life.
Didn't you bring that guy too who wasn't super experienced?
No, that
Was
was
that this weekend?
that was 2 weekends ago. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
two weekends ago. Yeah, this past weekend I went up with one of my friends that I've been doing like a lot of my running and stuff with down here. He's gonna do the Prezi Traverse, and actually the hike that we did is we did Madison, Adams, Jefferson, and Washington. And Washington is the highest peak in the White Mountains. It's like
Yeah, it's a big boy.
6,200 feet or something like that. And we hit that, and then we tried to go down like this really steep trail. It's called Tuckerman's Ravine, and like a lot of people like backcountry ski it, and inevitably somebody dies every ski season there. But we wanted to hike down it, except it was still closed due to hazardous conditions. But
Mm.
yeah, we ended up, I think we did like 17 miles and like almost 9,000 feet of climbing. So in terms of like preparedness for the Prezi Traverse, which is only like 18 and like 9,000 feet of elevation of climbing, we're golden. So
Yeah, you're in good shape.
yeah, and that's
Fucking
that's
nuts.
next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend. So
Okay. Nice. That'll be
yeah.
fun. I don't have too much this week. I just have some recommendations. I've talked to some of you guys off the podcast, but it was funny. Well, so for shows, I just started watching The Boys, which Joseph finally got me to watch. I finished season 1 last night. It's fucking great. Watch that if you got Amazon Prime.
Up tier.
Top tier. Also, if you got Amazon Prime, I would recommend the show Fleabag. Apparently, Joseph's not too hot on it after watching 10 minutes of it. But I really love it. It's some of the best acting I've ever seen in my entire life. It's really short. It's 12 episodes and they're half hour each, so you can crank it up. But love Fleabag. And then music recommendation. I was telling Joseph about this, but I discovered thanks to TikTok this genre called city pop, which is Japanese 80s jazz pop music. It's a very specific vibe, but I recognized it because it's the same as the intro to Yu Yu Hakusho, which Joseph and I fucking love.
Oh.
The intro is a banger. And thanks to TikTok, I found the city pop genre, and I've been listening to it on Spotify. It's fantastic. It's such a vibe. If you're in the mood for like some old school Japanese jazz, I don't tell you, it's just great. It's a good time. So
I saw you listening to it earlier today, and I was like, huh, I wonder what that is.
give it a click. I mean, every song sounds pretty similar, but that's kind of what I was looking for. Or just search city pop on Spotify. But yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Anything else you want to talk about, Joseph? If you had anything else from this last week?
Oh, well, one of our friends, Josh, came and hung out
Oh, yeah.
for the day on Monday. He was flying back from Phoenix visiting our friend Joe. Or our friend, his high school friend. But anyway, they spent, was it 3 or 4 days in Vegas? And afterwards, Josh told me he wants to cut back to 1 to 2 drinks a week, just based off this bender and like how intense of a trip it was to Vegas. So, which I said, you say that every time, man. We'll see how that holds up. But
So true.
Did you
Did
guys
you like
have?
spend a lot of money gambling?
no, not so much gambling, but like drinks. He said he bought
Yeah.
a Tom Collins for $21.
Oh my God.
And it wasn't even as good as the one you get for $3.75 at the dog.
Dude, I remember when I went to 375 at the dog and being like, this is outrageous.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
$21. That is highway robbery, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he was saying like the price of drinks was just ridiculously high, and they just be
should've-
drunk all the time.
Should have gone because you get free drinks at casinos, right?
You can if you're spending a lot of
Spending
money
money.
on bets.
I feel like that'd be cheaper than a $21 fucking Tom Collins. That's
Yeah, well,
absolutely
that was
insane.
like at either a music venue or a club or something. Like
yeah.
they
Yeah.
did some
That makes
gambling,
sense.
but I think they didn't want to lose too much money there. So
They just lost it on drinks.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
if you go and you sit down at a table and make it look like you're playing, like you just have like a friend that's playing and you just sit down next to him. If it's like a low key table, right? Like not like a busy
I don't
one.
know if you can do that in Vegas. I don't think you
Yeah.
can sit down at a table in Vegas if you're not
Because
paying.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a. I mean, I did that up at like the local casino here, which I mean, I say local casino, but it's like one of like the top 5 biggest in the world. And I mean, I got one free drink. That's all I wanted. But
nice.
I just remember going to Mystic Casino in Minnesota when I was 18 because it's 18 Minnesota and getting free Mountain Dew, baby. I'm like, this is the life. This is before we drank, and I was like, this is the height of luxury right here. What more could I want? I'm playing
Mountain
$5
Dew.
blackjack and drinking Mountain Dews for free. Come on,
What more
fantastic.
could you want?
All right, well, let's get into the topic tonight. Dayton, why don't you intro it for us?
okay, all right, well, and I guess kind of I'll segue off of Jacob's topic about talking about TV shows and stuff like that, because I've kind of had like I won't call it like a rebirth in my media consumption. But like back in like early middle school, I used to watch like a decent amount of anime, and I would also watch like TV shows and like movies and stuff like that. But I just recently finished watching the full Naruto series, so that's including Naruto Shippuden and everything, and it just got me kind of thinking about like how our own like media consumption has like changed over time, and if there's been any like repeats like with me, or if it's just been like all different stuff, like you've just been kind of evolving as you go.
I think I can start. So when I think of media, I think of the word binge, obviously, because that's how I like. These days, I'm just always binging. Like if I'm gonna watch a show, I'm gonna watch it as fast as possible. And I don't know where that comes from. If that's like I don't want to get spoiled, or if I just like I enjoy the story so much, I just want to inject all of it into my veins as quickly as possible, so I can just like get all of it. But actually, some of the other day, like when did I start that? Like when did I start craving the binge? And I think it was the Percy Jackson books because I remember being a kid and reading those, and I read the first book in one night because I just couldn't stop reading it, and I just wanted to finish it as fast as possible. And yeah, I just like I developed this habit of like with stories that I enjoy, I just want to consume them as fast as I can because I'm having a good time. Why would I wait? Like why would I try to spread it out? Like if I have the time, I'm gonna put it into just that one thing. So like when I think of like I guess media, I'll consider books my start to like stories. I think that I really liked like Percy Jackson, Gregor the Overlander, Ranger's Apprentice, Alex Rider, all those like young
Classics.
teen boys shit, Hunger Games a little bit there. So that was like the start, I think, of like choosing stories that I really wanted. And then I don't remember really how I jumped to TV, like what the first thing was. My family always watched TV, and we'd often just like at night just sit down and watch stuff together. And it was always like the cop shows, like Castle or whatever, which I loved. But every night we'd have something recorded from that day and just sit down and watch it. And I much preferred like the overarching storyline as opposed to like the monster of the week kind of stuff. And then I think the next big like thing that I was like obsessed with was the CW shows like Arrow and The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow. They have that whole universe thing, but Arrow was like the first one, right? And I really loved those. And I was like keeping up every single week. I'm like, okay, a new episode. Got to figure out what's going on. 'Cause I like superheroes for a long time. But I remember getting to college, and at that point there was like 4 shows in that universe all going on at once, and I'm just like, I'm done. Like I cannot keep up anymore. Because it was every week I had to watch like 4 episodes, and it wasn't that good anymore. And it's like I just can't do this anymore. And I think that's when I started hopping on the Netflix train. And after that, I mean, come on. I mean, I just couldn't stop because it's all the seasons right there. It's so easy to binge. And that's when I watched BoJack for the first time and just like a bunch of Netflix shit. Yeah, just anything I get my hands on that was like considered critically good, I guess, or my friends recommended. And then once I got into anime, it was game over. I think I started watching anime in New Zealand because I had a lot of free time on my hands at night. Um, and yeah, started getting into that. And after that, I mean, it's been pretty consistent since then of just like shows. But I have recently, I just can't tolerate ads anymore. Like I will pay for the no ads because it's just fucking horrible. I mean, Joe also remembers when we lived together trying to watch Letterkenny on Hulu,
Oh,
and we're getting like 10 ads an episode, and they're 20-minute episodes, and 5 of the ads the exact same one over and over and over. And I'm just like, I cannot fucking deal with this anymore. It's like I'll shell out the cash now. Just let me enjoy the story, no ads, and let me just watch it as fast as possible. But I've been a binger for a long time.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
very
Joseph.
different approach that I take, especially with like anime, because like I I mean I still have the same thing where I can only like sit down and like watch something for like an hour before I'm just like,
Hmm.
all right, I've had enough. So like for me, it took me how long when did we start watching Naruto, Jacob?
It was months ago, right?
It I think I started watching it over like in like between December and January when I was at
Yeah, that sounds right.
at my apartment all alone for like a week or two, and I was just like, damn, I'm bored. And then I just like started watching it, and so it took
When
me
you
it
and
took
you
me
got
like
pretty
6 months.
far, you got pretty far. Like I would say you were like 100 and something or so, and then decided to start watching, and I passed you within like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I just I got
You're an
nothing to
animal.
do, so I'm an animal, and I have no self control, especially like when it's like 11 p.m. or let's say it's 11:30, and it's like, should I go to bed right now? Yes, but I want to see sixth episode because anime always on a like fucking cliffhanger,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm like, oh, just one more, and then I'll think it was 1 in the morning. And it's like Jesus fucking Christ, but yeah, and I ended up passing you, but I finished before you. One because I'm a binger, but also because I skipped all the filler, which
Right.
saved like 200 episodes that I didn't have to watch.
Mm-hmm.
That you ended up watching. So, but I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
took you a
didn't.
long ass time.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, I did slow down a lot towards the end. Or like towards the beginning when I literally had nothing else to do and it was like fucking rainy, cold, and windy outside. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll watch like 4 hours worth of Naruto today. I got time for
Mhm.
that. But like now it's like I just watch like 2 episodes a night.
Sure.
Call it
But the
good.
thing, I mean, we've talked before recently, like you don't really have time. Like are you saying even if you had time, you would still like cut yourself off?
Yeah,
You think?
probably. Yeah. If I had uh yeah, other stuff to do that I would unless I'm literally trapped in a fucking room, then I'll get bored of it. I
Yeah.
think I said that right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I admire your discipline. I do not have it. When it comes to, 'cause, well, yeah, and it's just like I mean, Joseph, we talked about this before too with anime. Like they end every episode in cliffhanger. It's kind of by design, and it's
Mhm.
just
yeah.
because a
Well,
lot of
because
it is weekly, and you want to be like hyped for the next one.
yeah, you want to get ready for the next one. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
What about you, Joseph? How has your journey been with media?
well, so like growing up, I mean, we didn't have internet really. Up until I got to college, I didn't have like consistently good internet. So if I didn't watch even like television, like we'd watch. I don't think I ever watched a show on TV like weekly. Like that was just I just didn't have a consistent enough schedule to like do that or like to stream it, after it came out or anything. So like it wasn't until I was in probably a senior in high school that my cousin had like I think it was The Walking Dead. He had The Walking
Mm,
Dead on disc, and I had like heard about it and was like, I'll start watching it. So I watched through most of that because I mean I think it's still running. So I watched up until it was there, and then ended up in college watching it weekly. That was the first show I watched weekly, and I remember having friends come over to our dorm room to
Mhm.
watch it,
mhm.
every week, and then it stopped being good, so we cut that shit off real quick. But I would pirate TV and watch it at night. I pirated it at school. I take my laptop to school and just download shit off the high school's internet.
Like at high school?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
in high
that's
school, just
fucking
like off
hilarious.
the South Haven Public Schools
I mean,
internet.
they had probably no idea because I remember when we were at Michigan Tech, there was like a policy like you cannot torrent, or if they caught you torrenting on Michigan Tech internet, they'd like get in trouble. But like
Dude.
in high school, I probably even know what the fucking torrenting was.
Dude, I had a friend who went on to 4chan and the high school computers, like on the not even on their Wi-Fi, on the computer. It was like they don't know what the fuck they're doing at
Yeah.
all. But yeah, I didn't really start, yeah, like binging until like college, I would say even. But yeah, like I don't know, TV was never really my thing. Like I'd watch Power Rangers as a kid, right? Because Power Rangers is cool, but like never. It took me a while to get into like arc-based stories, I would
Mm-hmm.
say. And then was it senior year that you got me into anime, Jacob? Yeah, it was senior
Yeah,
year.
we watched Attack on Titan.
Yeah, and then just downhill, uphill,
Well, I mean,
whichever
yeah, because
side of the fence you're
we
on.
watched Attack on Titan together at the house, but then we didn't. You didn't watch anymore until we lived together again in
No,
Minneapolis. I'm pretty
because
sure.
we had to stop midway through one of the seasons, didn't we? And then I had to catch up. We had to
Yeah,
catch up for the
yeah, but,
is it season
yeah.
two. There's
Yeah,
three.
we caught up on Attack on Titan on our own, but we didn't watch like a new anime until
Yeah.
we lived together. I don't think.
Yes, that is correct. And even then, like most of the ones that I watch are recommendations from you.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. TV shows are one of those things I'd rather not spend too much time into.
Mm.
Just there's other things. Not because I get bored like dating, because I'll get into it. Don't like. I just started
Don't
watching.
get twisted, all right?
Yeah. I finally started season 2 of The Umbrella Academy the other day,
Oh, yeah.
and I think I've watched 4 episodes since then. Like, I don't know, just like, all right, another episode, let's go. But I also, Jacob experienced this firsthand, pride myself in being able to, all right, time for bed, done. It was getting close to time for bed, I'm done. Now I don't care
yeah.
what the cliffhanger is, I'll figure it out
I
tomorrow.
fucking hated it. I hated it because we watched the show together. And I couldn't keep watching because Joseph went to bed, and I couldn't convince him. Even it's like, dude, it's just 20 more minutes. Like, what? Come on, one more episode. And he's like, nope, going to bed. And God, it fucking sucked.
Had to go to bed.
No, I'll take the sleep penalty, but Joseph would not.
No, bedtime's bedtime.
See, I'm usually
that's
like,
why it was good to live with you, because you gave me some self control or some discipline that I did not have myself.
see, I'm usually like Joseph, except there's one arc that was finishing in Naruto. Fuck, I can't remember. I think it was like the end of the fourth war, right?
Yeah.
And I like, when Naruto, I'm not gonna say a lot. You know what I'm talking about. The end.
It's been for a long time. Yeah,
I know.
I think you're past the spoiler ban.
I'm being considerate, okay, Joseph.
Okay.
Okay.
When they're in the final valley, okay, and they're doing their thing, and I like finished it till the very end of that, and like I was up until like midnight, which like for me, I'm just like, what the fuck, like midnight on a work week or on a work day, like I gotta be up tomorrow at like 6. And I mean, luckily I was working from home the next day, but yeah,
There you go.
that's like the
Yeah,
only
that's why-
time that I've broken that rule for myself.
That's why I gotta stop looking up the arc, which episodes the arcs are. Because if I look it up and I'm like, oh, it's over in 4 episodes, I'll just finish it then, as
Right.
opposed to saving it. But what about you, Gabe?
There's an airplane. I don't know if you can hear it.
Not on Discord, at least.
Shows up on my recording, so we'll see if you guys get to hear that. It definitely has changed. I think I watched a decent amount of TV when I was younger. I didn't watch like a lot of series. It was just kind of like all at whatever was on. So sometimes it was a lot of like the same fucking episode, just 2 hours later or whatever it was. Because I don't know, young, didn't really
Whatever's on Cartoon Network at the time.
exactly.
Or just Nickelodeon, like iCarly and shit.
But I think a lot of the stuff that I end up watching, I was kind of thinking about it, sitting back, listening to you guys talk about it, and I think it's almost always a social thing for me to like experience a show or a series together. Like the last like big series I feel like I was in was like the Marvel stuff. I think the reason I started watching that was just because it was kind of like a talking point for like a lot of other people in high school, and then it obviously carried over into college as all those movies kind of went along. And any other show that I can really think of that like I watch just through a recommendation of a friend or like someone was watching it for the first time. And I think I just don't, I don't know, like shows and movies are like kind of on the lowest end of like priority for me for like entertainment. It's like
Mm.
a last, like, I don't know, it's usually like my last pick. Like, not that I have nothing against them. Like, they're entertaining in their own right. It's just usually I'll do it for a social reason. Like, uh, Tim and Joseph and Cooper and I will watch a show together, like once a week or watch something else, like whatever. So I just
Well,
kind
even
of
at
go
the
with,
house, like, you guys watch Game of Thrones every week or Westworld or
So
yeah,
it
Yeah,
Mr.
ended very
Robot.
Westworld.
disappointingly.
yeah. But that was all just for that social aspect of
Right.
like experiencing that with other people. Um, because I mean, we kind of fallen off like watching a show or a movie. Like we watched all the Alien movies at one point together. We watched like other series and stuff, but we haven't really like got a stable one yet because especially because our schedules have been getting weird this
Mhm.
summer. It's been hard to like even like Bad Batch or other shows like that like we would all normally watch. We just haven't had time.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of watch them on my own sometimes, but it's usually like waiting to do it with other people. But
It seems like with you, like if you have alone time, you'd probably just play a game as opposed to watching a show,
yeah, and
or
I'm
just do
just
something
gonna
else entirely.
Yeah, I mean, it also depends on like what hobby I'm feeling for the 6 month fever period I have of it
Hmm.
till
Hmm.
I get burnout. So it's usually like the first pick. So whether that like last year or this time is probably guitar. This year it's mountain biking. We'll see what it is in the winter. Um,
Other than Community, you fucking bit burned through Community. When
I
was that?
did,
Was that this winter?
yeah, and that was because I would watch it when I was working out because I couldn't work
Mm.
out in the gym.
Yeah.
Um, so that I think that's like the only show I can think of that I like have watched personally by myself. I know I definitely my video game consumption has changed a lot. I remember when I was younger, I was like, I can't wait till I'm older and I can play as much as I want. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna have the best computer ever and play all the games all the time. I'm just gonna play
And the money
games.
to pay for them, because as a
And
kid you don't
Mm-hmm.
have fucking
yeah,
cash
because I
to
didn't have the
spend.
money. And now I mean, my computer's in the middle of the pack, I guess, but I could definitely buy a top of the line if I wanted to. Steam Summer Sale hit today, and I was looking at them like, I don't feel like playing any of these fucking games.
Mm-hmm.
I
Dude,
just,
Dayton and I were playing games together on Monday, and like we were talking about like, is there any multiplayer games that we could get? And we're like, nothing just sounds good right
Mhm.
now. Like we just couldn't really find anything that was like exciting.
It's really frustrating because like
Yeah.
before, I think what it is there's so many choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And like as a kid, it's like I spent fucking $20 on this Game Boy Advance game. I'm gonna get my fucking money's worth. I'm gonna put 200
Yeah.
hours in Pokemon Leaf Green or Fire Red or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But now it's like I have fucking over 100 games in my Steam account. So like if it's not immediately entertaining, I'm like I'm out. I'm gonna do something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's pretty frustrating, but I definitely will hit a mood where like sometimes I'm just like I want to play a game and it'll be like a single player game or a multiplayer game. Obviously, they hit different, but like sometimes like I want to play a game like a single player game. It doesn't happen nearly as much as it used to. I think I do play games now again for that social aspect. Like we do the streams Monday night, and it's like I mean Apex is a fun game. I like playing it, but it's like I play it more or less to hang out with you guys, not
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
not
I'm
because
Oh,
not
it's
I'm
I'm
not
like
about to drop in a solo and
yeah,
a
I don't love it enough to
squad of
solo queue,
randos.
right?
yeah.
Get that shit
Like if
out
I'm
of here.
feeling a single player game, it's like I really feel the urge to play a video game and I'm like looking for a specific vibe and I'm like
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
this game will feed that, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me,
No,
like the
I'm
RPGs, like single player RPGs, those are what I like just soak time into. Those are the games that I can absolutely binge. Because like especially if they're immersive, like I know Cyberpunk got like a lot of flack, but like my computer ran it just fine. I didn't notice anything really that shitty about it.
Also same.
So like I think I put in like 60 or 70 hours within like maybe like 2 weeks. I think I beat the game in like 2.5 weeks or something like that.
you cranked it.
Yeah, I was grinding that game hard. And like same thing with like Skyrim. Like any RPG where I can like really get into it,
Like
then
Witcher, Far Cry 5.
yeah, then
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh yeah. Especially if there's like a good skill tree, like good sense of progression. Like Witcher. Oh my gosh.
It's so good. Yeah, I'm pretty similar to Gabe right now with games where I pretty much only want to play if I'm playing with somebody else, um, which is pros and cons. Because there have been nights where like I'm really in the mood to play Apex with people, but nobody's online. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, all this is out of my control. Like I can't do anything about it. Um, but I haven't felt the last single player game I played was Monster Hunter on Switch, and that was a few months ago, and that was fun for a time. But like that was probably like a week or two that I played it.
Mm-hmm.
Excited for this holiday because I think we'll get a chance. Like Halo's coming out. I think we'll have a fun time playing that together. But yeah, I've been more feeling the social aspect of games, and like Gabe said too, like with shows, my preferred scenario is to watch them with people, right? But it's just not always possible for whatever reason. And because I mean, I love watching shows with people and all like reacting at the same time something happens and then talking about it after. Um, but like, can't really do that right now. Me and Lissa watch weekly shows together. We're watching Loki right now. We watched Invincible together. Um, we might watch The Boys season 3 whenever that comes out together. So like for weekly stuff, it works pretty well. But if I'm like watching a new anime, and I would, like I said, prefer to watch it with people, but like I also want to binge it as fast as possible. So like, and no one's gonna want to stay up with me until 2 in the morning watching it. So that's probably better. I can just watch it on my own because I can just get through it as fast as possible. But like if I had to watch Naruto at the pace Dayton was watching it, I would have killed myself. Like
Oh my God.
that would have it's so like yeah, that's just a lot of time. But I'm like we could just be watching like 8 episodes a day or 9 instead of like 2.
Oh my God, dude.
But yeah,
That just seems, I kind of like am with Dayton where it's like after a couple, I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like Attack on Titan was probably the most binge thing that we watched. I think the most we did was 4, and that was like Dayton was saying a big arc. Like something
Mm-hmm.
was finishing, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
mhm.
let's watch this. But I'm
I
like
mean,
usually,
we had a schedule with like 4, 5 people's schedules had to match for
yeah,
that. So like
Yeah.
to find enough time between like, especially because
everybody.
Cooper would come over and like if it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I won't be free until after this. It's like, matching schedules is the hardest part with that for
I think
sure.
with like the cliffhangers, it's just like the first, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, oh man, I really want to see what happens next. And it's like super powerful. And after that, like, I totally forget about it and go on to the next thing. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
then like, it's like, okay, this is the next time we can all hang out. It's like, okay, now I'm starting to remember why I was excited to watch this episode, but
Right.
it fades pretty quickly for me.
And
And
then you watch the previously on, and it's like, oh baby, here we go.
this is
Yeah.
what was happening. And you're right, Gabe. Like if I like finish the episode and like stop and I get up and walk around and do something and come back, it fades pretty quick. But if I'm still on the couch and I'm still in, it's really
Mm-hmm.
hard for me to not press play.
Yeah.
But it's kind of what Dave was saying earlier with RPGs. Like I get so immersed. Like when I'm watching a show, I am watching the show. Like I have like no distractions. Like I am fully in. Like pretty much like any show that I watch, I'm just like fully into it, and I love that. And so it's really for me to like decide to break out and like stop for the night, because I just want to be there. Like it's just enjoyable and fun. But
Mhm.
another aspect of the whole thing that I enjoyed, I'm sure you guys have picked up on, that I really like like curating what I'm gonna watch, like finding like the good shit and like making a list, um, and like actively deciding like which stories that I want to experience. And I don't know where that started. Like, so I'm thinking of like when was the first time? Like, and it's for all of you. Like, when was like the first time you like, okay, I am deciding myself to like experience this show. Like, I am choosing to watch this because like we're growing up. At least for me, like usually with my parents, like picked what we were watching, and that was fine. And like me, I'd like, hey, I want to watch this movie. We check it out. But like, it wasn't until I was living on my own that I'm like, okay, I have free time, so I have to decide what I'm gonna do with it. So I'm gonna choose to watch, this show or whatever. And like I think because I'm, choosing that time and it is time that I'm spending, I want to make sure I'm like spending it in the best way possible. Like maximize my efficiency or whatever. So I like want to make sure I'm watching like the best thing I could watch, which isn't always a good thing because I can get like really wrapped up in that, like not watch a show because if it has not great reviews or somebody I heard talk about it poorly or whatever. But for the most part, I really enjoy that process of curation, and I like recommending things to you guys as like, hey, like I like this for this reason. I know you might like it for this reason also, like, you know. And you guys don't always watch it, which is fine. I still enjoy recommending stuff and talking about it, but I really enjoy that whole process.
I think that's still the social thing, though. You know,
Oh, it totally is. Yeah, that's where I'm trying to get my social interaction out of it, even though I experience
like
it all by myself.
even with music, like I was like, oh, this album, I know this person's gonna like. Like, check this out, or movie or video game. Like, check this shit out because I want to talk about. I want you to listen to it or watch it or play it, and then I want you to tell me how great it is, so that we can talk about how great it is. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why I push One Piece so hard. I just want one person I know to watch One Piece so I can talk about it with them because there's so many theories I want to like talk about, like what might happen. But
There's too many episodes, man. I'm out.
I'm gonna
Shark
get Dayton.
Tank, I'm out.
I'm gonna get Dayton. It might take him 4 years to get caught up, but it'll be worth it.
Maybe. I mean, like we've talked about this before, Jacob. I used to read it.
I know.
I used to read it. Like,
and I really think you would like it. It's just it might take a while, and that's fine. As long as if you start it, you know, I'll be happy.
Maybe we'll see. Once I reach the end of my current list of anime, which isn't really that long, to be honest.
No, you gotta do. Joseph, he's gonna watch My Hero Academia. He's gonna watch Demon Slayer.
Ooh.
I forgot what else is on there. Attack on Titan.
Yeah, Attack on Titan.
you got-
pretty much just
you
like the
got good
basic
shit.
ones.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cowboy Bebop.
No, I don't have that one on there. Maybe we'll see. One Punch Man is on there.
Yep.
I've heard that's good. At least season 1.
yeah,
I've heard
season
season
one.
2 is controversial.
I don't watch season 2. Season 1 is very good. Very funny.
Yeah, Gabe,
But-
it's funny that you mentioned like the whole music thing, because that's kind of why I made that one playlist, like the 50 most recent saved songs playlist. It's because like I've had like a lot of different friends like ask me like what I'm listening to, you know, like this past week or whatever, if I found any new good music. And this is like just a super easy way for me to just be like, here's what I'm listening to. Take from it what you want. And like it's always funny because like I'll just like see Joseph, you know, listening to it or whatever.
Dude, we were both listening to it today. And I was like, oh, which he listened to? Oh, I just listened. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, for me it's funny because like I get to see like how my like listening habits have changed even like the past like 2 or 3 weeks. Because like I think like 2 weeks ago I was like listening to like a lot of like 90s and like 2000s music, and like you can very see that reflected in the playlist. And then like Joseph will like comment on some shit. Like he commented, he was like, you had a random Linkin Park song on there. What the hell is up with that? And I was
There's fucking Yellow Card Ocean Avenue on it. And it's like, why?
It's a good
Like,
song, okay?
is
It's a
it-
good song.
I'm not saying it's not a good song, but like you just added it now? Like it's been a good song for years.
yeah, except a lot of it I just like forget that these songs like exist. So then if I'm like listening and like I stumble upon it and I'm like, oh, that's a good song, and then I add it, and then I listen to it and through my saved songs and like for the next like 3 weeks, and then I promptly forget that it exists. So I'm actually thinking about making another playlist, which is 50 random saved songs of mine, and then have that refreshed every week. So like,
I was gonna bring that up because I think the mechanic is really cool you have right now of like, yeah, it's your 50 most recent songs that you've like saved, but that means that no song can be on there again. And at some like you have this huge list of saved songs now you can never like those can never access because like they were there for however long, but then they got bumped. But yeah, I think having the 50 random saved songs would be good to preserve those.
I'll have to see how that works, because the Spotify API is kind of weird in that you can only recall, or you can only get chunks of songs in 50 song like chunks.
Increments.
Yeah, if that makes sense. So like that's why I chose 50, because that's just like the maximum that I can choose. But I might be able to like export all of them into like an array or something like that, and then just, you know, pick 50 random numbers and then just grab those. I'm not sure if I can like offset it and be like, grab my 2151st song out of my saved songs. I don't know if it works that way, but that's a project for soon, maybe. Who knows?
Whenever you can have some time. You're not too busy.
Yeah.
Or a rainy day.
Yep.
We've mostly been talking about shows, but Dayton, you framed this as media in general. Is there anything else, like any other media types you wanted to touch on, like social media or movies?
I mean, I used to watch a lot of movies. I don't watch movies at all anymore. But
I'm kind of in the same boat. I
yeah.
still watch some, but I much more prefer shows just because you can spend more time with the characters. You can do kind of more complex storytelling. Not to say like movies have their own merit, obviously, but it's harder for me to. It's so stupid because it's hard for me to commit to a movie that's like 2 hours long. Well, I'm like, with shows I can stop whenever I want. But then I end up watching the show for 4 hours, and it's like I
Mhm.
could have watched two movies, but I couldn't commit because it was 2 hours, and I have to watch the entire thing.
Right.
Shows have a lower buy-in, right? Because
Yeah,
like, oh, this could be a 24-minute endeavor, or I could extend it. But like a movie, it's like this has a runtime of 2.5 hours or whatever it is,
Mhm.
and I'm not fucking stopping a movie halfway through and coming back to it later. Like that's
not a,
just
I'm not a
annoying.
coward. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But they'll be like, yeah, I could watch a movie. Let's see, 2.5 hours is gonna be this time. Okay, yep. Like just the buy-in to it
Mhm.
can be a little daunting, I think.
Mhm.
Barrier to entry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And like
other
with
than, oh, sorry, you go on.
I was gonna say with all these things we're talking about, it's not just that we've grown up and we're able to make our own decisions, but like Gabe mentioned earlier, like over time the amount of options has increased
Mhm.
exponentially. Like the amount of movies that have been made, but also just are available, is so different than when we were kids.
Yeah,
Not that we were even really able to choose back then, but you know what I mean. Like it's absolutely insane.
well, yeah, like as a kid, I had to drag my parents to fucking Family Video. Had to go into town to Family Video, on Friday night or whatever. Look through the aisles, and there's only so many like there's a limit to how many movies they can have there, right? And like, I don't know, just kind of fucking decide from there. But yeah, now it's like, oh, here's a good movie. Let me Google and see if I can fucking find it anywhere.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Whatever it is.
Now that's a very like nostalgic feeling. Like I still remember like going to like the family
Walking
video
through
and
the aisles.
yeah,
Mhm.
and like I remember like my dad being like, "Oh, don't walk down that aisle" or something like that because it wasn't the porn aisle,
Like the
but it was
horror.
like yeah, it was like the horror aisle or something like that, and I was like, okay, I won't go through that aisle, and like I just remember like browsing all the different like cover arts and stuff
I
like
was gonna
that.
say, like back then, it was all about the cover. Like that's
Yeah,
all you
Mhm.
cared about. Like how cool
yeah,
it was.
yeah, and I wonder, so like how like arcade bars are like kind of a thing now.
Mhm.
Do you think that
Hmm.
they'll ever make like blockbuster bars or something like that?
What do you mean by that?
So like like a movie cutoff is like 2005 or something like that, and they'll have a whole bunch of movies like available on DVD or VHS or whatever, and they'll just have like TVs, and you can just like throw the
Like
throw
a
the TV show
like
on or the movie on or
Mini movie
whatever.
theaters, basically, but
like
you
a
just watch it
Yeah,
from.
jukebox of movies.
yeah, almost like that, and like you could like you basically like rent the movie, and then as you rent the movie, you get like four free drinks or something like that, and like the movie rental costs like $25 or something, but you get beer with it too. I don't know, because like it's just
But
like
yeah,
arcade bars are very nostalgic, and I think that's why a lot of people like them, and I think that they're also really fun for like groups, but like maybe not everybody wants to go out and play games. I don't know.
yeah. I think
But most arcade
the
bars too have like retro movies playing.
I was gonna
Oh, do
say
they?
like you
At least
saying that made me think like
Uptown
it.
has anime and like fucking. We were there and like Jurassic Park was on one TV
Mm,
and The Sandlot was on another and like shit like that. So like even if you're not playing games, you can there you look up and watch the subtitle, watch the
right.
movie, have a couple drinks, watch what your friends are playing,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's what it would be, Dayton. It's like it's a bar, but there's just TVs on, and you can maybe pick. Like you'd say, like, hey, like throw on this movie, but like it would just be subtitles. And you can maybe hear
right,
the volume or
right.
have like headphones or something. But like
So
it would still be a social thing.
it's like
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo Wild Wings, right?
Yeah, it's a
Where
Mm-hmm.
sports
there's
bar, but
like
it's for movies. Yeah.
30 different sports games on, but instead it's fucking movies of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Be interesting.
Yeah.
Good time. Yeah,
New
yeah, I
business
don't.
idea.
Yeah, movies. I mean, I still want to go to like the theaters and stuff. Like, I think Black Widow's coming out soon,
Yeah.
like next month. I'm pretty sure, and Fast and Furious is coming out this week. I don't think I'm gonna go see it, but like, it's
I think it came
still.
out today.
I think you're right. Yeah, like it's still fun to go see new stuff. But like at this point, like Gabe was saying earlier, like I'm pretty much only in the Marvel stuff is like the must see things. But and the other stuff it's like maybe I don't know. It's a whole thing, to go to the movies and do all that. But
Well, I feel like you can do so much other stuff because you have extra agency, Like,
mhm.
I don't know, when you're younger, they're like, we're gonna watch a movie, and you're like, this is what we're doing, I guess.
Mhm.
But like, it's like, or I could go drive somewhere because I'm an adult and I could do anything else, Like
But then you get decision paralysis.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, even watching like a show or a movie, it's a lot easier for someone like, we're gonna watch this. You're like, okay.
Yeah, I'll join in.
I'll watch, I guess, versus like, picking what you want to do. But it's also more choices on like other ways to spend your time too. So,
right.
And it's definitely like decreased the amount of stuff I watch.
I'm pretty sure Netflix implemented a new feature recently that was like, we'll pick something for you because they know it's so hard. It's like you just press a button, it's like, okay, boom,
It
we're putting on
shuffles
something.
like your whatever they have like recommendation
I think it's
playlist or
your
whatever.
saved. Like you can put stuff to your like save
or your list or whatever. It's probably a
Yeah.
combination
You
of
can
your
do
list and what they recommend.
But I think they have like just what their algorithm, like their recommended, like for you, their for you page or whatever the fuck it they call it.
All right. Here's my beef with that. Okay.
It's never what you want.
No, it's not. It's not even that. It's the fact that Netflix has two different things going for them, right? One, they license other TV shows and movies and stuff like that that they don't own, which is actively costing them money as they have it licensed. And two, they have their own Netflix originals, which aside from production value, doesn't cost them a damn thing. Of course, they're gonna peddle as much as they can their Netflix originals and try and pull everything away from the licensing stuff, because that's just gonna save them money and keep people on their platforms. So this algorithm is only gonna all right, I'm not gonna say only. It's gonna heavily weight towards these Netflix originals. And
It definitely does.
I just think that's dishonest.
That's what Pandora did. Like Pandora would always do that. Like if you pick a song, but yeah, because they'd purposely play like one or two songs that you'd recognize. Like you'd say like so and so artist, and especially if it's a big artist, they're gonna play like obviously a song from that artist. They're gonna play another one that probably an adjacent one, and then they feed you the shit, like the stuff that costs them nothing to license because they're nothing. Like they're just not big artists yet. Okay, not that they're nothing. They're just not big. Not big artists. Not that people use Pandora anymore, but they're not big artists.
Emily does. If you're listening,
yeah. Emily, fucking Pandora. Switch, man. But then they start making extra. Well, they make like more money off of it, right? Because it costs them less, and then they feed you ads after that. That's how it be.
But I'm with you, Dayton. But I kind of appreciate. I mean, they created the problem. They're also giving you a solution to a problem they created. But like,
it's a
I don't know.
oh my god.
There are also websites you can use to do the same thing, so that would be less biased.
Yeah,
I do think the Netflix originals are such a crapshoot, though.
They are.
Like it's a coin flip of whether it's going to be good. There's some good ones. Don't get me wrong. They have some really good shows and movies, but holy fuck, they have some real just garbage.
It's because the quantity has increased so much in recent years. I feel like, and this may be being curmudgeon-y, but like I feel like back in the day, the older Netflix originals tend to be better than the newer ones. But maybe it's because there's so much volume now.
Yeah, they can risk it now. They can just be like, fuck it, we'll spend 500,000 on this TV show. If it flops,
well, and most of their
who the fuck cares?
stuff now is the reality dating shows.
Really?
Oh, a lot of those. Too Hot to Handle, Love Is Blind. All that is Netflix
those are all
original
Netflix
shit.
originals. Oh,
Yeah. And actually, they just revealed a new one. Hold on, I gotta find it. Sexy Beasts. You guys hear about this shit?
I did. Yeah, I got a fucking Google News article shit on it, and it fucking triggered.
I'll tell you the bid game. It's similar to a blind date where two people are going on a date and they're met before, but it's similar. It's like Love Is Blind, except instead of not being able to see them at all, you are with them, but you're both in like makeup that makes you look like an animal. So it's like pseudo furry, like super weird shit. But like you're on the date with them, so like you're with them, but it's like it's not what they look like. and to make you so you can't see them, we're gonna put them in all this fucking make. It's like the Masked Singer kind of.
Do they go in public? Like, do these people look like
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
freaks and they're like getting ice cream or
I'm
whatever?
pretty sure. I mean, I like barely.
Now
saw
we
the
gotta
trailer.
watch and find out.
The trailer is fucking. I mean, the prosthetics are good, but not in like a good way. Like they're creepy. They're so good. But yeah, that's their newest gimmick. They're
That
doing
sounds
60
terrible.
days.
That sounds absolutely
Yeah,
awful.
that it's not.
But I'm
Sounds
sure
like
it'll
the
do
Masked
numbers.
Singer, which is stupid.
But that's because it has famous people in it. That
Yeah.
you know, that's part of the charm.
I think that show's so dumb.
I think it's dumb that they. Whole nother topic.
But yeah, Dayton, Netflix goes where the money is, and right now the money's in reality shows, reality dating shows.
I
Interesting.
think that's where it's been
Like,
for
and
a long time.
a lot of rom-coms do. Yeah.
Back in
Hey.
my day, we got fucking the discs in the mail. I remember
Mhm.
watching the original Lost in Space series with my dad, and we'd have to get 2 discs at a time, watch them, mail them back, wait however many days for the next discs to come in the mail.
You know what I got in the mail from Netflix, Joseph? The Flintstones.
Oh,
I was like, I want to
baby.
watch this original cartoon. It wasn't bad.
Oh, the cartoon, not the live action.
No,
with
no, like the
fucking,
old, like,
Oh
actual
my gosh,
cartoon.
the live action.
with who is it?
That
John
John Goodman?
Goodman and
Yeah.
Rick Moranis.
Jesus Christ.
Top tier.
I think I knew from an early age that like animated shit is my shit, and then once anime happened, oh boy. Thank God for Crunchyroll. Could their UI be better? Yes. Dayton knows what I'm talking about.
Could they offer, skipped intros and outros? Yes.
Jeez. The amount of fucking time I would save if they had a fucking skip intro button, holy fuck.
Uh-huh.
But
And the thing
the
is,
library's good.
dude, you could fucking crowdsource it. You could literally just give it
Actually-
to people in a beta and then just be like,
That's what they're doing with they said comments. So now if you're watching Naruto or One Piece, you click comments and somebody's already put in, hey, at 4:24 is when it starts, and you can just at least you know the exact time code now. You still have to do it yourself, but
yeah,
that's been nice.
yeah. But I mean, you could just
Once they get enough of those, they can just use those comments as like a jump, right?
Mhm.
Jump point.
Mhm. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's a good time. All right, well that's our discussion on mostly TV shows. If you ever need recommendations, hit us up, and we'll give you something. But yeah, thanks for watching. As always, you can find our show on Mondays on YouTube and podcast services. Follow us on Instagram and follow us on Twitch. I already said the handles, you know what they are. I say them every goddamn week, and you guys still don't follow. We haven't got a new follower in fucking months, okay? Get your asses moving. But until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.
bye.